Mic's up. Mic's up.
Welcome. Good morning. This is the Grapevine. It's brought to you by Verbs on Smooth 98.1.
Good morning, I'm Ayo Mairo Ese. Thanks for tuning in, and it's time for us to give you some gist from the entertainment world here on or in the Grapevine or through the Grapevine, one of them.
It's the Grapevine 91. My name is Valentine. Hey guys.
Hey,
Please
good
plug in.
morning.
Good morning.
It's Delphine Okobah here. Great hanging with you guys as always.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not James Silas.
I like that.
It's Chef Jeff 3000. I love you 3000.
Definitely
Oh.
Chef Jeff 3000. Have you seen the new episodes of Black Mirror?
Not yet.
Don't go into any spoilers
yet.
now, please. Thank you very much.
Okay. If you love video games, better watch it. Might just give you a new perspective to life. But
All right, so if you'd like to join the conversation,
Yes, please.
we're streaming live on YouTube, so please go on there, Smooth 981, and you can see Delphine or the Delphinator and Chef Jeff, waving to you guys on there. On Twitter, we're at Smooth981FM. Use the hashtag Grapevine981, and on WhatsApp, send your thoughts, your views, and your expressions to 0809 444 0981.
all right, thank you very much for that ELA. I got that at the beginning.
What's
But
good?
you felt good, eh?
Yeah.
Happy for you.
The year factor.
At the beginning of the show, usually how we start is, if this first time you're actually joining us, we start by reviewing the songs or the video that's available to us. Today we have one video and one song. The first one is a video. It's called Emoji. It was done by Victor AD. Seems to rhyme with the title as well. Go on Twitter at Smooth981FM with the hashtag Grapevine981. You'll find the links to the song and the video that we're reviewing this morning. Now, Victor AD came out with this official video for his latest single, Emoji. Please listen and let us know what you think right after. So, increase the volume.
Which one? For this one? No, because of YouTube.
At the beginning.
Pardon?
The beginning.
What? And the hell did now?
It's too late. Let's
All
go.
right, mic's up, guys. We're going up now.
You will enjoy the backstories when you watch on YouTube. You understand what I mean when you tune in, all right? So subscribe. First of all, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Smooth981FM Lagos. Now, new video, Emoji by Victor AD. What do you think, Delphine?
I'm actually indifferent, honestly. Like, maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I think I know what happened. But go ahead.
I'm indifferent. Like,
Did you get to see the video?
yes, I saw the video. Nothing we haven't seen before. Yeah,
Okay.
just indifferent. Yeah.
I'm actually okay. Let me think. I think I know where she's coming from because I think probably you heard the other song we're going to be talking about before this.
Exactly.
Yes. So what happened with me, and that's what her situation was. That at first I was like, "There's another song we're going to be talking about," and I heard that, and then this came on. I went to start like, oh.
Yes.
But then I was like, okay, no, I'm actually really enjoying this, and the video as well. Like the guy that made this video, like he did a very good job with this. I mean, for me, the artist was. I mean, I wanted to get more metaphors coming to that. There's a plug in there somewhere, but what I'm doing anyway. But I want to see more metaphors for a song called Emoji. But I think that he tried. The video. I mean, I love some elements of the video, like where in the song he's talking about how the girl's face is all filled with love, but her heart's actually filled with hate. And then there's a scene where she's getting phone calls, and she's getting phone calls from one maga now, but for 40 seconds. We know what that means. All of that was very, very hilarious. I thought the video was well shot. I'd like to see more from the guy that did this. And then the song, it gets catchy the more you give it a listen. So the problem for me was just listening in the order which I listened to the songs to. But I liked it.
That'll definitely change your perspective. But
Yeah.
then T1H produced this song. The video was shot by director Bindo. Ayo, were you impressed?
It was. I like this. The song was okay. I only have a few things to ask with regards to, and you might come for me for this one, but I'll still say it. Light skinned girls. What's the thing with having? I don't know if with
They reflect light
preferences.
better.
I don't understand. They reflect someone I don't understand. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not trying to discriminate. Chef Jeff is looking at me like I'm light skinned, but
I mean, you are light skinned too, Ayo.
no, but I think what rattles me is because of what's the story with Wizkid and the models complaining that they would request specifically for light skinned girls, and for each of these videos they become even lighter. So light hair, light. I'm like, this baby's not Nigerian, he's African. This is, but forgiving. That's I say, can come from me for that. So I
But
didn't really like that aspect of
I
the
Body
video.
cream is
I
getting
mean, you
more
could add
affordable, I guess.
several elements to that as well. Like for instance, they're putting the skinny girl there, but then the guy's preference is leopard kind of thing. So you can throw in arguments from leopard side, but I think I get where you're coming from. I haven't yet seen that as a problem, so to speak, in terms of like I picked that out essentially, but I
Yeah.
get where you're coming from though.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, linking into the Wizkid story, that's why I remembered it, and I saw like another one. But then also, but with regards to the video and how they played it out, I loved it. I liked it was based on, I liked how he sort of played with my intelligence. Even though that doesn't sound like something that should be coming from this kind of song, it's not that deep. But the song is about pretense.
Yeah.
So I loved his play on words, the metaphor, like you mentioned. I loved it.
I mentioned the metaphor for a reason.
No, but I actually had in my notes that I loved the use of metaphor, because he was speaking essentially about the entire relationship, but using emojis, particularly when you type out LOL and your face is like this. They're not really laughing out loud, and he mentioned that was the bridge of the song. So I
love when she
that.
took off the mask as well. That was excellent.
So that also, beyond just her reaction to their chats, it talked about the entire relationship, that she was faking it all and all that, just as a chat would, and using emojis to speak even though she wasn't feeling it. So I loved it. So yes, it wasn't too bad. It was okay.
It was okay. I loved the video. I was impressed. I watched it after I listened to that song, so I get where I was almost there, where the Delphinator got to. But I held myself back. Said, "Val, you need to be objective. So just wipe the memory of what you just said and pay attention to this." I liked that he did not, he did not do what I expected. What I expected was, and I would have been impressed even if it would have been obvious. I expected him to infuse emojis in terms of animation into that video. But when that didn't happen and it did in a different way, I liked it. I liked the expression. I liked how clean that video was. I liked the it's not called a smize, because I heard that from Tyra Banks. But there's this expression that the lady had on her face. It was a fake smile. Just putting it simply, she had it at several points in the video, just illustrating the words that were being used in the lyrics. And Victor Eddie redefined himself somehow with this song, although reminded me a bit of Runtown at some point. But it was good. It was a good attempt, if you ask me. The next song, anyway, let's get to Ignis Brothers. Now, made up of Edwin Madu doing the stoic, lead vocal, Ruth Zakari playing the bass, and Lamide Aramolati on the guitar. Doing the stoic, three of them together on this particular song. It's called Alien at Home by Ignis Brothers. Listen. Hold on.
Well, they didn't tweet it. They didn't tweet it.
And I didn't sing my confidence. It's
I'm
all
confused
right
why
to be
latest
broken sometimes. I swear I've been here before. In my hands,
4 plus 8 is all right. Mike's on.
Alien at Home. It's meant to reflect the protagonist who wants to run from their pain away to outer space, guys.
Love. Like, this is such an incredible song. It's for anyone who's ever felt like an outcast, like a loner, anyone who feels like a rebel, a misfit, a round peg in a square hole. Like, it's so relatable because everybody has been here. It's such an emo song, but I love it. Totally love it.
I mean, I'm totally in all of those places, so another case of having been there. This song, I had to play it twice, and just like yesterday, I was thinking about how we are so backward in our music that we don't have a lot of people who are doing groups. Everything is very, very solo. Like, you're either twin brothers or you just remember people of the old days. Nothing that's like a group anymore. So having this come through and this level of artistry coming into everything, I love this. I love the whole trio that they do, even though it's more like a duet in the song, and even just their name alone, because Ignis Brothers, but there's like two girls or like one girl in the group or whatever. That as well says that, okay, we're trying to be different, and I'm looking forward to more stuff from these guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful song. I had to play it again. I think I'm gonna play it like 2 other times today, basically because I love this.
Brilliant, yeah. For me, like you said, you can't fault this song. His voice is rich. Like I turned, even if you can't hear the words of the song, you are just taken away by the richness and the depth of this. I tried to listen to the words, but I couldn't. I didn't get. So I'm thankful that both have shared thoughts on that. But it's a rich voice, and like you mentioned, I was listening to a song the other day, and you listen to songs that were produced like in the 80s, earlier on, and you're thinking we don't make music like this anymore. Music that is deep, music that makes sense, doesn't have to be about shaking this and shaking that. And this is that kind of song.
Yeah.
It would be timeless. You would play it many years from now and it will still be relevant. So thank you
Definitely
very
smooth
much for giving us
material.
good,
The perfect kind of song to export.
Yes.
Export in our music.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is it. You're listening to The Grapevine and it's brought to you by Verve. We'll take a break here. We'll be back on the other side.
It's your hustle. Best believe your hustle is your identity. Whether it's your career or your business, the hustle is what takes care of you. And that's why you have to take care of the hustle. You have to constantly upgrade yourself, learn new skills, and gain new knowledge to help fuel your hustle. And speaking of fueling your hustle, I want to tell you about Google and how Google can help you keep it 100. So, major key alert. On Wednesday, June 12th, Google will be holding a masterclass to help you gain skills to double your hustle here in Lagos. From 9 a.m., there will be speaker sessions to help you take hold of your future and visualize it in fun and exciting ways. There will also be live digital skills training and live coaching sessions, and they will all be happening at the Podium Event Center. Registration is going fast, so hurry up and secure your spot online today at bit.ly/feel for your hustle. That's bit.ly/feel for your hustle. 3 amazing speakers renowned in Nigeria and abroad will be giving talks at these sessions to help you take your hustle to the next level. You'll be meeting Lanre Olushola, the chief catalyst at Olushola Lanre Coaching Academy, who leads organizations and people through transformational personal development and organizational change. Those who know him know that he's passionate about people and helps organizations find breakthrough solutions for success. Juliet Ehime, the country director at Google, will also be there. She leads Google's business strategy in West Africa and the next billion user initiative in
So new sponsors Google.
Should Google be in this show?
Are they a new sponsor?
Yeah, they're not kidding.
It's not sponsored, it's ad time.
It should be Verve.
It's ad time.
I know. No, it's not. I'll tell you why later. Don't worry. Woo! Messages. Who's sending us a voice note on WhatsApp?
I feel like you should just play it before.
Right? Because I feel that way too. Where's the phone? Where's the WhatsApp phone? Yeah.
Just be sure to tell people that it's a one-off occasion, so they don't start getting any ideas.
Let's also pass in our own analysis.
Could
you guys play the song, the Ignis song? Let's also pass in our own analysis.
Has it been tweeted? Link. Huh?
Yeah, nothing's been tweeted.
I'm gonna play it on there. If you guys don't mind. Ayo, I want to play this voice now.
Just tell them it's a one-off occasion.
No,
That sounds upset.
The guy does. Oh my gosh.
I can take a power nap and just have a studio.
Valentine, which one is the hashtag? Okay.
Today feels like
Tomorrow is.
All right, come back in 10 seconds. Mics are up. Studio is live.
Good morning and thank you for being there. You're listening to Smooth 98.1. This is the Grapevine 91 and it's brought to you by Verb. Before the break, we heard the song. It's called Alien at Home by Ignis Brothers. And of course, before that, you saw probably and heard the song to the video, Emoji by Victor AD. Now, the general consensus is that Victor AD tried. It wasn't that great, especially when you listen to the other song and compare both of them, but we're not doing comparisons here. We encourage you to go on our Twitter handle, Smooth91FM, use that hashtag Grapevine91 and judge for yourself. Somebody send us a voice note. We acknowledge you. Thank you very much. Please do well to listen to the full song because we do not have a copyright license to play the entire song.
Or time.
At this time.
All the time.
All the time. So please go listen to it. All right. So the two songs. First, the very first song, Alien at Home by Ignis Brothers, and then the next one, Emoji by Victor AD. We encourage you to see the video too. The first story that we'll start with is it just makes me really sad to hear that this guy from the Thoroughbreds, B-Elect, has passed. He passed on Saturday, June 8th, 2019. Wasn't more than a month ago, right?
A little over a month ago.
A little over a month ago, we had Illbliss in the studio as a guest, a special guest, and they came here together. B-Elect and Illbliss were in the studio together, and I still remember that day very vividly. Illbliss was B-Elect was so supportive. Illbliss couldn't help himself at some point during the interview live on air to give encomiums to his brother, to tell us how much he appreciates B-Elect. B-Elect was just standing behind the console and was smiling and looking at us. And then Illbliss was talking about how it is that they started music together from way back. How B-Elect has always been, his day one, has been very supportive through the times. He's not the only one who's sharing his encomiums. Of the J. Martins shared, Terry the Rap Man, a lot of people in the industry, shared. He was born, his real name, Andrew Bright Rihanna, the fine arts graduate of the University of Nigeria. According to sources, he died of reported cardiac arrest. Aside being a rapper, he was a writer, public speaker, and a brand and communications expert. That is your thoughts on him?
I mean, just because you might not know somebody doesn't change the fact that they have a history, especially when they have a history of prominent names that are still in the industry till today. So I do send my condolences to everyone that's grieving around this period. Definitely, it's really sad that someone so young would go, especially from a cardiac arrest at the same time, So, it's a sad occasion, and my condolences to everybody. That's all I have to say.
Very sad here. Unfortunate news. Like Valentine mentioned, it was just reminding us this morning that we had met him and Illbliss had such fantastic things to say. I'd seen the report on social media. A few celebrities had been tweeting about it and talking about how they knew him. He was such a good guy, such a great guy. And like Chef Jeff mentioned, again, it just points to the fact that cardiac arrest, heart diseases are attacking young people, and more young people are dying from this. So we must take care of our hearts and take care of how our lifestyle as well, in terms of keeping fit, keeping healthy. Very important.
B-Elect is such a gracious guy. That was the first and only time I ever met him, and I'm so grateful that I got the opportunity to meet such an amazing guy. He was so gracious. Like, he was collecting everybody's phone to take pictures that day. And at some point, I asked him, dude, don't you want to be in the picture? He's like, I'm cool, I'm all right. Such
And to think he's been around for a long time. If you look at official J. Martin's tweets, he had talked about the fact that he had learned about the music industry back in the days from him. So talking about how humble he was the day we met him. He's not a newbie. He's not a groupie. He's not one of Illbliss's men. He's actually an authority.
History,
yes, he has a history in the music industry. So to remain that humble, that's something to talk about.
And it's something I would hope the young stars these days, the new celebrities, should really try to emulate and just live a humble life. It does not make you lower than the next person. It just makes you realize that there's you value principles more than yourself.
Yes.
You know, and you hold yourself to high esteem, but that doesn't have to be expressed in pride. Let's move on now to more stories. As we see that slapping is trended all over social media. Some guy that came into the news, his name, before now I never heard of him, I won't lie, but he's made his name from this hype. Pamilerin Adebuke, a lot of people know him as a blogger and a critical voice to music and the entertainment industry. Well, apparently called out Peruzzi in January when he compared him to Tenny, and saying something that really happened, that Tenny the entertainer would get awards more than Peruzzi, that he dared Peruzzi in some of the tweets and said, oh, if you think I'm wrong, Oga, just stop talking, stop ranting. If you think I'm wrong, come out and release one song without releasing with a group, and let's see if you're going to blow. Needless to say, I'm sorry I'm doing this, but I'm not sorry. Tenny won a couple of awards too, right? That I know of. She's been nominated now recently by the BET for another award. So,
Yeah.
I mean, let's weigh in on the slap. First of all.
So I know Pamilerin personally.
Oh,
Anyone
you
who
do?
knows him knows
Oh.
that he's a joker. He's such a troublemaker. If you look through his tweets, you can tell that it's just a troll.
Yeah.
That's who he is. He just loves being annoying. So, but nothing he said was wrong. Like, he spoke the truth. The truth is bitter and painful sometimes. Like, it doesn't mean you should go around putting your paws on everyone that says something
Put your paws
say
on.
something bad about you, you know, like, can we just, let's not be wild animals, basically. That's
Thank
all I
you.
have to say about
And for him
that.
to go as far as I'm talking about Peruzzi, going
Yeah.
as far as the park, a car park, when this guy was about to board the bus and then gets his bouncer to pull him back and loads him some slap and says, "Why did you tweet about me? Are you going about
In
something?"
January,
Guy,
that's how long ago.
I'm like, you could, even if you wanted to express your anger, I mean, just have a few words. There's no such thing as having to hit anybody for anything whatsoever, because at the end of the day, you know what, it was the truth. That's the clear thing there. It's like trying to compare yourself, who just came out with a song and Whiskey, and think you're gonna go blow better than Whiskey. It doesn't work that way. Exactly. But you know, for me, I didn't like how, I like how we said Peruzzi and not Davido's artist, because I'm like, why are you now dragging Davido into the whole
Inside.
picture here?
They'll drag you in, as long as, I mean, they'll say that, they say when the child is doing well, he's the father's son. When he's doing bad, he's the
His
mother's son.
mother's son,
So when
yeah.
he's doing bad, they call Davido.
That's like
Come and see your boy.
that's like if Valentine did something wrong now, you're now calling Mr. Fash, Mr. Fash's
Of course.
person.
Don't you know that's what they'll do?
excuse me, I'm Mr. Fashion.
But you know, there was an apology that was tendered by both Peruzzi and Davido as well. So you know,
See?
Davido felt like, but Davido said that, you know, you said some harsh words too, but you know,
That
but the
bus was
apology-
unnecessary.
Well, no, I mean, it wasn't. I don't feel like it was an inflammatory but in the usual sense. You know, where you're trying to give an apology that's not an actual apology. I think it actually was an apology, and we can give them credit. So I think this is now a closed case.
But would they have apologized? Sorry, would they have apologized
If we didn't make it public.
Yes. That's one question. Another one is, one of our colleagues called Peruzzi live on the show yesterday and asked him what happened. Is it true that you slapped the guy? And then went on to explain to him how that could be, how he could be sued for assault if Pamilerin decides to go forward. And then he sort of indicated that he didn't think slapping was an assault.
I was going to say that Peruzzi should thank his lucky stars that he's not in the United States of America or the United Kingdom where laws actually work. They will take him to the cleaners in court, because a celebrity particularly is targeted for things like this.
Yeah.
You don't go around slapping people. It's actual bodily harm, in case he wasn't aware of it. And ignorance is not going to exclude
Did
you
you
from
see his
facing the
face?
wrath of the
The
law.
ignorance
Yeah,
will not
his
be
eye.
bliss.
Yeah.
You can't, it was actual bodily harm. If you touch somebody in a violent manner, you
That's
can be
it.
sued to court. It's just unfortunate that our courts aren't working.
And no, I'll cut out.
Okay, well, as effectively. So they will spend a lot of time in court. But what I'm saying is this, because celebrities have to take responsibilities for their action.
Yeah.
If you can't take the heat, stay out of the kitchen. If you cannot
I
be
like that.
criticized for your work and take it in good faith, then please do not become a celebrity or a star.
Yeah.
You're going to have people who are going to. So That's like we should be getting slapped on the road.
As in left, right, and
for
center.
Grapevine. Then we say some songs are not nice. Because we're analyzing songs. I thought it was a very irresponsible action. I think people were coming out condemning, hate speech is hate speech. The guy spoke. I'm like, he has a right. We have platforms. Do you know how many trolls be slapped on Instagram? The case. You cannot go around slapping people.
What did he say that was wrong?
Exactly.
10 won awards, right?
That's what I'm saying, that there was no justification. Right? You people want to get slapped. Chef Jeff.
You know what? We're going to take a break just to avoid that slap. And we'll be back after this.
That was just nonsense. There were people that were supporting him here. Pamilerin to show. I'm like, are you guys joking? How can you compare someone tweeting and obvious bullying, intimidation? You brought your bouncer, told him to sit, and you slapped him. I thought,
you and your bouncer are going.
Yeah, going. As in fact, Pamilerin will be so happy if we're abroad. He will all be happy. He'll be taking pictures. Has made money. He's not going to have to be tweeting for life. Right? He's just be tweeting for fun.
Forget cold case. You just need to slap on Navy Man's song, and that's it.
I'm skipping this music producer.
Nah, man, it was. In fact, they won't even target Peruzzi because Peruzzi doesn't have money.
I think there's too
target
much.
Davido.
Even we've been doing too much AFCC, and I think that
Exactly.
I'm skipping.
Sorry.
I'm skipping the time.
I don't mind Simi stuff. We can skip that.
You don't mind? Okay.
But I don't bless him for why with what again?
No, never.
What
Not-
again?
not-
Why?
Oh, she came out and said that it was
Why?
a joke. Did you guys see that part?
No, I didn't see that. I think she's actually become famous from this.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't know her.
He actually cancelled it.
I do too. Like that's so much.
Like me, sorry, but no.
No, she knows.
I didn't even select.
This Becky.
See, such an irony. You're saying this and this is what you do.
What?
That's
Yeah, exactly. I've been listening to tweet just the person he or she just did. I'm like, I'm just like, you shouldn't block the person. Somebody. Needs to be totally blocked. This one, the first one.
Who says that? I feel YouTube.
No, because the person watches.
Somebody.
Person is a big fan.
No, not even that.
This is not
No, not even that. That's what the person even does. Every song, there's hardly a song that we played that did not say, oh, rubbish. Even this Ignis song, friend said it's not exportable. You can. This is the same person that is saying that, oh, bullying is bullying, Twitter bullying is bullying. The person is watching, I don't want to talk too much. I'm so upset, like every single time. Such a hater. Hey, come on, be telling us rubbish. Hello, everyone.
You heard everything. I'm sure you did.
All right, we're going back on there now.
Oh, gosh.
All right, studio is live.
That's a really nice tune there.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth 98.1. The conversations behind
Man,
this.
I mean, you guys are missing out if you're not watching on YouTube, I tell you.
We have messages here on YouTube.
All right, so YouTube, Olajuwon listener says, oh, all right, oh no, yeah, she's just talking about, they wanted to see Valentine's face and Lakumi was blocking his face.
Okay.
So some comments here from Peruzzi. All right, great, but you guys always make me sit down in my car. I love you guys. Ojo, thank you so much. Oh, this one is long.
The people praise you, read it out loud.
No, now once in a while. Oh, okay, let's read it out loud. My producer is telling us
Thank
off.
you.
You guys always make me sit down in my car till the show ends. Unusually enter the office late. Love you guys. You're all great.
Thank
I
you.
usually enter.
I do not take this
Or
thing
just
for
like
granted.
no, we don't take it. We really,
No,
really love it.
yes,
You know,
thank
we're really
you.
grateful. Thanks for staying in your car. Don't be late. So take it with you.
Ziggy from VI sent in this message. Says, morning, guys. Chef Jeff, Delphine. On Victoria Day, the video is appropriate. In line with the song, it's a good video. On Ignis Brothers, Dwayne is an amazing vocalist. The song itself is like when you drink chilled soft drink. Hot day. Refreshing. On Be Elect, it was very sad to hear about it over the weekend. I was shocked, to be honest. He really was a nice guy. Sai. On Peruzzi and the slap debacle, that thuggish behavior is very silly. Very silly. Celebrities need to relax. And I want to disagree with Delphine and Chef Jeff. Nothing true about what the guy said. Who is gagging? Who is better? Who is gagging who?
Who is gauging?
Or
who is
gauging,
better?
rather. What are the parameters? You cannot just say A is better than B without dropping clear parameters of comparison.
Awards.
I think
Results, numbers.
Popularity.
Exactly.
And then he adds at the end, I think they are both in the same
No,
category.
I'm
No, they
sorry,
are
I don't
not.
agree.
No.
First answer. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Proceed.
We'll send him this one from BI.
Says we can't condone Peruzzi's behavior in societies where things work. Peruzzi's work will be boycotted and he should be arrested and charged for assault. Let him come and slap all of us now. Go VI.
And Frida sends us a message. Thank you, Frida, for joining the Grapevine today. Frida says, but what happened that the guy compared Peruzzi to Tenny in the first place?
That's the real offense.
Twitter happened.
The real offense
In
was
summary.
the real offense was the fact that he even compared both of them together. And he come and slap.
In January. What month are we? June.
Yeah, I'm saying that they're not even in the same category.
Probably
They,
just-
they start with the same letter. They have to do
Ah, I
Waiting
see.
for the next June. Well done.
Nice one.
Well
Peruzzi
done.
and Pamilerin. PP.
Now conspiracy
guys.
theories are taking over the Grapevine. Let's move on now, talking about depression, because it's a real case and it's something we can't skim over. Simi is lending her voice to this. She's opened up about her thoughts about depression, and according to her, the situation is simply scary and sad. In her words, she says, and I quote, "It's scary and sad, especially for young men. The struggle to keep up, the fear of failure, the desperate desire for validation, very scary. I hope that we can let people know it's okay to share and lean on someone when things get too heavy." She tweeted this in response to a post by one Black John Week, who asked, join on the hashtag where she started getting people to ask her questions. So what are your thoughts on the wave of depression in recent days? And that's what she said. Your thoughts?
Depression. The number one thing I would say is don't isolate yourself. Sharing is caring. Share a problem. Shared is a problem half solved, like
That's
people
right.
say.
That's right.
Like when you isolate yourself, you wallow, you indulge in that sadness and that deep dark place. So talk to someone, basically.
Have you
Yeah.
been depressed recently? Sorry, I'm asking a
Um,
very touchy subject.
yeah. Well, I don't know if to call it depressed, but yeah, I've had a cloud over my head in the last couple of weeks, and I can totally relate. Yes.
Are you out of it?
I'm
or
out of it.
How'd you get out of it?
By sharing, by not isolating
Do
myself.
comments add to it?
Comments.
On Instagram?
Well, I don't really get hate comments, so I cannot.
I'm
Really.
surprised. After your movie reviews, they don't
Okay,
come
maybe on
back.
YouTube, yes, but not on Instagram.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it never gets to you.
No, because I just see it as a job. So
Yes.
like,
Yeah, I think you can easily
Professional.
separate. I mean,
Yeah.
I still battle it anyway. I mean, it's something that you can, when it comes to social media, you can separate that side. I mean, some
Yeah.
people can't, but in general, you should be able to separate that side. But the problem is that isolating yourself feels like a solution whereby, okay, you're alone in your own space. But in reality, talking to people definitely helps. I'm still in that boat, and definitely I see the results from just sharing with the right people, because sometimes people are like, oh, just man up. And I like how Simi weighs in on this saying, especially young men, because it takes there are a lot of girls that will not say this at all. They will also be on that man up, or this one has issues, let me move on to the next. So for her to weigh in on this issue and selectively say young men, I think that's a big thing as well, because it's no longer a thing about age or whatnot, because men go through a lot.
Yes.
A lot. It's very easy for the opposite sex to tear you down, make you feel like you're inadequate, you're not doing enough, they're going to leave you, you're worthless, you can't pay school fees, and blah blah blah. All of the stress that goes into being a man, it is a lot.
And
So-
I would dare say, although not proven, I'm not backing it up with any research or whatever to show research data, but I feel men have less capacity to deal with depression or emotional stress than women do. Women arguably may have more outlets or more are more enabled to express themselves, but men will just tell the guy shut it
men
down.
don't cry.
And everything.
Man up.
Do you get me? And I love what both of you just said to this, because keeping yourself in isolation can be likened to taking substances to temporarily douse the problem.
Yeah.
But eventually, when the effect lifts off, you're still facing your problems. You're still
Yeah.
facing the challenges. Any words?
No
Okay.
words. I totally agree with what you said, and I'm glad that she's speaking up.
Yes.
More people should speak about this and be real, because it happens even for the most, the healthiest of people and the happiest of people. Look at what's his name, the comedian in America. His name just skipped my mind.
Kevin Hart?
No, not Kevin Hart, the one who killed himself. Who was the crest?
Comedian, who was that?
He was Genie. Aladdin's
Robin
Genie.
Williams.
Oh, Robbie Williams.
Yeah.
Oh,
You
that
could
was
see his
yes,
face.
so
The name
sad.
was what was.
Yes, he
so
made
yeah.
everybody laugh.
Yeah,
The thing is,
everyone
it's-
laughed,
and it's not always about who's famous as well. There's always going to be someone that's smiling in your face. Hell, I'll put my hand up here, smiling in your face, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes,
Yes.
how healthy you are.
Mhm.
When people ask you whether you're fine, you say you're okay. That okay has several meanings that I'm not
Yeah,
necessarily
the life of the
positive.
party.
Exactly.
And
They're at every
everything.
single party. They're always seen around it, but you don't know. So it's always good to ask questions and be the right kind of friend, be that supportive
Yeah.
listening ear,
Okay.
and give the right level of advice.
Well,
Absolutely.
congratulations to Rihanna for making the cover of Interview magazine. I wasn't surprised when I saw it, but when I saw the picture, I was like, that was a really nice picture, and I like that Cardi B is being very honest and being very upfront with her real self, telling us how
With her real self.
I'm
upfront with her
sorry.
real swollen legs.
With her
But
real
not-
self?
Wait, now the other parts are not real, we know, but still.
This is a story about post surgery and one out with her real self.
Effects.
Are we talking about the real plastic or
No,
know
the real feeling that she's getting. I mean,
Mm.
expressing the fact that she's getting
the real feeling or the real feeling?
Come on.
I like
Fun star.
You know what? At this point, we'd like to also congratulate Chris Pratt and Arnold Schwarzenegger's daughter. I think it's unfair to call her Arnold Schwarzenegger's
Exactly, I was gonna
daughter.
say that.
Her name is Katherine
Because
Schwarzenegger.
nobody knows Katherine. If you say, oh,
No, but they know the surname.
But they know the last name.
exactly.
They know
eh?
So
the
you just
surname, and even his son as well is also famous in his own right as an
Patrick,
actor and
yeah.
model.
See?
Schwarzenegger.
Yeah,
But for me, the most fascinating thing about that story was the fact that Chris Pratt's ex-wife, Anna
Anna
Faris,
Faris.
were married for 10
9
years.
Yeah,
years.
9 years.
They're
Yeah.
dating, they've known each other for 10 years, married for 9 years. Wanted to officiate the wedding. She was at the wedding, she was happy. They divorced last year.
Yeah.
Like, this is crazy.
White
I
people,
think-
white peopling.
Well, I'm not gonna go into that. But what I hope is that they don't have an American wedding where 2 years down the line this is.
No.
But he has everyone that he's done that commitment history, all right,
Yes.
with Anna Faris for 9 years because that's not.
So is that
it's
not,
not
so that's the new
something.
definition of marriage? You can at least stay for 10 years.
No. I'm not saying that. But American wedding is like big 2 years, and then it's like maximum 2 years, and then it's all split spill. But I like that element of Faris being involved. It kind of reminds me of when Bruce and Demi Moore they got divorced, and
Yeah.
then Bruce gave away Demi to Ashton Kutcher
Please, I
went
cannot
way back in
understand
the day.
that. I can't.
Because the thing is that it's not necessary to hate. You
Sure.
can still be friends and be okay with it because you moved on.
After
You've
1
moved
year,
on.
they divorced last
In
year.
Nigeria, it's
so-
5 years.
so
Once it
what?
goes 5 years, that's
Denise
still
Richards
goodness.
and Charlie Sheen, all right, they had so many issues. They were divorced. He was having like 2 porn stars that were living with him at the same time. But she was a guest on his show several times, even after the divorce. So it proves that you can move on without
Yes.
having to be enemies.
But there's a question for you though, Chef Jeff. Ugochukwu is asking you, is it real plastic?
Go and ask your doctor.
Big E says Peruzzi is on a thermometer heat from January to May. What? From January to
Actually-
May, he may keep well. He try. He can't. What?
And like he actually kept it from January
Yeah.
and revenge in May. That's deep, man. Don't marry if you marry this one.
MI says. Come on.
Yes, am I?
MI says he told us he was losing control, but we never paid attention. Whilst I agree that opinions should be moderate, nothing justifies assault.
Yeah.
If you can't stand the heat, then you shouldn't be in the kitchen in the first place. That's being a celebrity.
Mm.
It's a slap to your career. If other things
Nice.
aside, your music always makes you trend. And I'd like to note, losing that MVP award to Sugar Mommy though, child,
Ah.
he says. We're done. Plug out, guys.
This has been an amazing show. I totally enjoyed today's show. It's Delphine here. I'll catch you guys next week.
Yes, and it is me, Chef Jeff 3000. Find me on Instagram and on Twitter. And also, speaking about metaphors, I will be at the Metaphor this Saturday with a 5-course menu.
Okay.
It's out on my platform, so go check it out. But more importantly, go get your bookings in because it's time for some more real metaphors.
And get ready. A new winner for the $1,000 grant is going to be announced on Thursday at noon on Loose Convo. So do well to follow and join.
Fantastic. This is Ayo Mairo Ese. I had nothing to say here, but I like all this plug out. We're going to break right now at 9 o'clock. We're back with Lagos Talks 981. But before then, we still have some smooth music for you.
That's right.